Whoa, can't get that to stay right where I want it. Having some tripod technicalities. Let me see if I can level that out a bit. Is that not going to stay like that for me? I don't think that's going to stay. Alright, let's turn some lights on, huh? Lights on. Some music off. What did it do? Welcome to Ormanay, everybody. Just a little messing around late at night. So, I recorded what I'm about to play last night, but it was so late at night, I had to record it onto the memory of my piano. So I'm going to play a duet and play along with that. So let me get over here to this. And so what I recorded last night is this. And it's some orchestra. And I'm going to play some piano and add some piano along into it. Welcome, glad you're all here. Whoop. Hold on a second. We're having technical difficulties. Okay, that's quite enough of that, huh? How's the volume, guys? Is it too loud, too soft? You guys hear that okay? try that. We'll change that up. We're going to turn that off. We're going to turn this off. Okay. We're going to switch that up a little bit. Go over here to one of my favorite sounds. I really like to play the stringed instruments. Well, that made everybody leave. Alright, well, thanks for coming. Coffee break time. I really don't like drinking coffee around my keyboard. I'm always worried I'm going to spill it. This feels like I'm hanging out over the edge of the Grand Canyon, risking certain death. Oh, I guess that's a bad no-no YouTube term. Not really concerned much about that. That's about enough of that. I lost everybody on that one. Let's go back to a little bit of regular piano, maybe. Tell you what, how about instead of that, we'll go over here to this guitar section. We'll make it sound real crazy, huh? Nope. Okay. That's getting a little out of hand. I just wanted to come on here live. This is really just kind of my warm up. And then I like to turn the YouTube on the TV behind me and play along with some more established music because I'm just making it up as I go along, just playing scales, stretching my fingers out. So all y'all that came and went, I appreciate you coming and going. I'm going to take a short break. I'll be right back. Call this the smoking and drinking stream. I'm a little 420 off camera, but it's warm in here. It's the first day in several days I've been able to turn the air conditioner off and do any kind of real decent recording, which is kind of a joke coming from a guy like me. I'm not a musician. I just play one on YouTube. I have a lot of fun. It's something I like to do late at night when I'm bored. I like to watch other people's live streams and learn all kinds of new stuff. But right now we're just hanging out, taking a little break. I'm glad y'all are here. You leave me in the comments section what kind of music that you really like to hear. If you like country music, or if you like classical music, if you like R&B, you like some jazz, like some classic rock, or even some heavy metal I've been known to break out with from time to time. Just leave me a little comment in the comment section. Next time I come on live, I'll try to play some of the requested music, but no promises made. I'm a really super amateur musician. I'm really just a guy that likes to push buttons, you know, something for busy hands to do. So originally, I started off, I played a saxophone in high school and junior high, and I got away from music for quite a few years. I'd forgotten everything I learned about it. You know, I understand the basic structure of stuff, and like everybody's gone, so I'm talking to a blank camera now. I'm glad y'all were here. Hey, welcome to Ormanay. I'm glad you're here. I'm just hanging out, playing around, having some fun. Bad finger. See? That's why I take a break to smoke. I'm ashing all over my keyboard. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me take some of this sound out of the background. That might be a little bit better for the background sound to turn that air conditioner all the way off. Let's funk it up a little bit. Let's see what this. I've been wanting to try this out for a minute. Right here. We'll need that. Sounds funky. If anybody doesn't think that's not fun, you ain't tried playing around. That's a lot of fun. Sometimes you just lose it in the shuffle. Now it's just completely gone. Okay, let's get away from that, huh? That's still a lot of fun. I don't care. I like to experiment and play around, you know, when nobody's listening. So here's a little bit different sounding piano. That's a little too bright and loose for me. Let's go back to this. Whoa, not like that. That finger's no good. Sometimes I think I might need to get rid of it and throw it away. At some point I will learn some songs by heart, but I really do my best when I play along with other music. So I'm just warming up and hanging out. I appreciate y'all showing up. Alright, I think we need a little bit of drums on that. Let's go over here. This, how about we go with a nice folk rock beat here? No, that's a little much. Let me say, right there. The hard rock shuffle there. Alright, that's about enough of that. So, what I'm going to do is step away for just a minute. I am trying to live stream, build up my subscribers. I appreciate y'all coming and hitting the likes and subscribing. I really appreciate that. And what I'm going to do is take a short break. And I'm going to leave you with something I recorded onto the memory of the machine late last night. I didn't want to be too loud. So hope y'all enjoy for this for a minute. I'll be right back. I'm surprised anybody's still here. That is the last time I turned my kayak into a sailboat. And I've just got my inventory list. I've been to the grocery store. I've got all my snacks. I've got my cigarettes all rolled up. I'm about ready to go out on another big kayak excursion. And so I'm just kind of excited, waiting for the rain. It was supposed to rain really hard today. I was going to leave today, and then I put it off, postponed it for a couple days. So hopefully the next time I go live, it'll be like a sunrise at the lake, or if I see some deer walking along the shore, if we see any kind of animals or anything interesting out there on the water, I'll be sure and go live for that if I'm in phone range, because I'll be shooting a lot of videos way back in the wilderness area, and there's not a lot of phone signal back there. But that's where all the animals and the beavers and the foxes and the coyotes, they're all way back there out of range. And then there's another part where I could kayak a few miles and get close to a road and upload stuff. And I've got my solar panel, so I'll be able to keep recharging and stuff. So I just sitting down and making some music, got some music coming out on my shorts, and then some longer videos of some actual songs that I play, and not just sitting here jerking around. Those will be coming out real soon. I appreciate if y'all take a look and listen and like those. That'd be nice. And so right now I'm just trying to boost up my YouTube videos, get a few videos in the bank so I can go out in the wilderness and take some more videos like this. And I'll be doing some unique kind of shelter building. I'll be doing some survival videos. I'll be doing some comic outdoor, only the kind of things that happen to rednecks when you're out there on the water. I don't fish a lot. I paddle maybe 20 miles a day. I'll paddle that kayak and take videos, and always go way back to the back end of coves, and always looking for different stuff to look at, you know. So I'm pretty excited about that. getting a little mechanical there. Thanks for sticking with me. All right, that's all about enough of that. Whoever that one person is that stuck with me that whole time, you're a champion. I'm an idiot. But thank you for being here. I'm going to shut this off and I'm going to move on. You guys have a great evening. I'll see you soon.